Welcome back, Networking Squared. Give us a ho, 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 Mr. Crawford.
Ho, 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 ho.
That's wonderful. I can just see you as a Santa Claus one day.
I'm working on it.
But you're going to... Yeah, I about swallowed the entire turkey. The boy can eat. We're always talking about food here. Listen, if you know that we're going to be here on a Saturday morning, stop by the studio, bring food, and we'll show you what this thing is all about. We've got Todd Gulick here today from Liberty Tire and Auto, and we've got a lot of questions we're talking about. I do want to ask, there's so many things to talk about here. Al, you want to cover the used car thing?
Yeah, it was something where my son, 17 years old, he and his friends have, they've all gotten into this first car thing, and their friends have bought some horrible cars. Look good on the surface, but they end up being financial nightmares for their parents or the kids themselves. And I know that, Todd, you have the ability to have people come in and actually have their cars inspected before they buy the car. Can you talk about that, please?
Sure. There are many times when people that are looking to buy a car and they don't really know what they're buying, and they're afraid of what they're buying. And we offer this brief inspection. It's called a general undercar inspection, and it's a half-an-hour labor, so it's not expensive. Allows us to actually look at the car, do a thorough brake inspection, front-end inspection, suspension, belts, hoses, tires, the whole gamut, to see if there's anything that these potential buyers really want to know about. It can help them negotiate price. It can help them prevent themselves from buying a lemon.
And what's the cost of that?
It's a half-hour labor, which is $42.
Man, that's cheap. Are you kidding me?
Think about that. I mean, my buddy just had to put $1,500 into his kid's car. Kid paid $1,000 for it, and he's already put $1,600 into that car. Think about if he had had that car looked at.
If he had only known, right? How important is that? We've got the Max Mileage Club, and being an old guy, I'm really into max mileage. So what are you doing for this max mileage thing, and why don't you explain a little bit of that?
All it really is just a accumulation of our clients that we service on a regular basis that have over 150,000 miles on their cars. And what we do is we provide them the oil changes at $10.
$10.
For a full-service oil change.
Jeez.
Anything that has over 150,000 miles on it. And we actually have 501 cars that we have serviced in the last 24 months that have over 150,000 miles on them.
And you actually have a board, right? There's a board that you have the cars, like a tally.
We have them listed in the lobby of our shop, our facility. You can come in there, and people come in and look to see where they're at on that list. It's because they like to see themselves climbing up. In fact, we've had a battle going on for about the last 6 months between two individuals. Mark DeMino, who has a 2000 Dodge Neon, and Lee Chiquette, who has a 1994 Acura, just both crested 400,000 miles.
Jesus.
For a Neon?
For a Neon.
Oh, my God. Tell me somebody's been pushing that Neon for 5 years now. Wait a minute.
Okay, well, I'll tell you, if you know Todd can keep a Neon with 400,000 miles, do you guys have any other questions as to where you need to get your car serviced?
There it is. We might as well close the show. You're done. See the man, Liberty Tire and Auto.
Holy cow.
400,000 miles. Oh, my goodness. That is an amazing stat, and certainly want to say hi to Lee Chiquette out there, and hope he's tuned in somewhere. What else have you got? Fundraising and donating. Wait a minute. You're actually a business person with a heart? Tell me about that.
Well, I alluded earlier to this need that people have or desire they have for us to sponsor their kids' teams and do some fundraising. And one of the ways that we decided to do this is by creating an ongoing 12-month-a-year program that allows us to contribute to these organizations. And what we do is we simply allow our clients to earmark their account to have 2% of their invoices, regardless of the amount, whether it's an oil change or a major repair, to have 2% of that invoice go to a local charity of their choice. And it's not necessarily a charity. It can be, like I mentioned, a soccer program. It can be an educational program at school. It can be a church. It can be an animal shelter, homeless shelter, any organization that's a local organization that makes our community a better place to live.
So you're doing this community thing. So let me get this straight, Al. He said that I can come in, if I've got 150,000 miles on my vehicle, get a $10 oil change, and he's going to donate 2% of that back to a charity?
And the other part of it is that now you're also going to get the free inspection. So he's going to be able to take a look and give you a report card without anything extra that's going to look at what is going on with that car.
Do you realize that it would probably cost me $25 to get an inspection somewhere else, and here I can get an oil change That's amazing. Okay, I'm like blown away.
Well, the funniest thing was I was all excited because my son's car had 145,000 miles on it.
You don't qualify, buddy.
And I was excited because I was going to be there, and that's when he hit the smart bus and destroyed the car.
Al is the only one I know that had the odometer fixed to go higher.
Yeah. I was excited. I'm like, son, drive more. I want the $10 oil change.
Well, what else are we asking here? What else we want to learn today, Al?
Well, I mean, I guess it's something where, as far as a community, I know you have that involvement. But I guess what I want to do and what I want people to understand is what it is that Liberty Tire brings to the community. I know that you have the give back. But what I really want to stress is what types of work do you do? I mean, you do large mechanical work. It's not just fixing struts and shocks and stuff. It's full service auto. I mean, so if you can touch upon like the scope of repairs that you do, that'd be great.
Yeah, the only thing that we really don't do is we don't do collision work. We leave that to the collision experts, and we have some associations or relationships with some very good collision shops in the area. And then detailing, and that we contract out. But for the most part, we do all other repairs and maintenance services on cars and trucks, on anything up from your small subcompact cars to mid-sized trucks.
Now, in networking, we always ask people to be specific. And if people are always going, oh, no, everybody's my customer, it just doesn't hit anything. So when you say you do everything, I guess we're going to have to touch on a couple of things here. So if somebody needed some major engine, where you'd have to actually pull the engine out and work on it, you would do that?
Yes.
All right, and you have enough bays to do that?
Yeah, we've got 9 bays. 7 of them actually have hoists in them that are dedicated to doing everything from your oil changes to alignments. In fact, we do alignments for some of the local collision shops that actually don't have alignment racks.
Cool. All right. Now, and as far as tires go, what's the kind of inventory that you guys have?
We carry about 7 different brand names. We are a Goodyear independent dealer.
Okay.
We carry about 7 different brand names, but we install and we have access to about 12 different distributors around the Detroit area. And we will install and be able to find for you the tire that you need or want.
I wanted to ask about this tire thing. Now, back in my day, we had tire busters, and I'm sure maybe they're not called that anymore. Everybody's technicians, and are all getting a lot smarter. So your staff that's doing the tires, explain that a little bit.
Well, they're very hardworking guys. Tires can be a dirty job. It can be a heavy job. The ASE Master Certified Techs generally don't want to do tire work. That's not how they make their money. That's not how they're paid. So the tire guys got to be efficient. They've got to be hardworking. They get dirty. They're the same guys that are doing the oil changes and doing the basic maintenance on the cars. I have a lot of respect for all of our technicians, really, but those guys really put in some muscle.
All right, and they also are keeping an eye out. Now, when they're changing tires, they're looking at everything else too. It's not just your top line guys. Your guys that are even doing the tires, they're looking for everything, also looking out for the customer. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, they're actually the ones that are going through those scorecards when you're doing getting an oil change done or you're getting tires put on. They're looking at those things like wheel bearings, looking for leaks, looking at the condition of hoses, the battery terminals. They're looking at reasons why you might want to know what some of the things that are going on with your car.
All right, so I'm looking here, Liberty Tire and Auto. You're selling tires now. If I'm looking for some maybe bigger tires, or maybe I got one of those big 4-wheel drive things, are you handling those kind of tires too?
Yes.
So how big of tires are we talking here?
Anything up to 20 inches.
All right, that's big tire. Rims at all?
Yeah.
Okay, so well, I'm learning a lot here. Your customer survey, are you taking feedback from your people, your customers?
We always take feedback. We take the good and the bad, but we get a lot of feedback from clients. I mean, this time of year, we've got clients bringing in cookies and cakes and all kinds of stuff.
CL, we should be hanging over there.
I know.
Cookies and cakes.
What I remember when I was in there is that, I went in and I had some tires done and was sitting in the lobby, and it kind of had that Andy Mayberry, the Mayberry kind of feel to it, where it was just a real homey environment, very warm and welcoming. It didn't have a sterile feel to it. It was just something where you felt that you were welcome there. I really enjoyed that.
That is a cool thing, and I know that you have coffee. What kind of coffee do you have?
Oh, we've got Tim Hortons coffee, Jerry.
Oh, see? We're in the wrong business, Al. So you're actually putting Tim Hortons coffee. You're just not talking about any old coffee. We got Tim Hortons coffee. So you're treating your people that are waiting in the waiting room very well, right?
Yeah, and Tim Hortons Coffee is there just because so many people seem to like it. When I used to work at Speedy Auto Service, we carried Tim Hortons Coffee in one of our stores there, and people loved it so much that when I opened up this facility, I said, I'm going to bring it in. I mean, and it's simple things that make the big difference for people. We've got the Wall Street Journal on the counter as well as the Oakland Press. We've got it's a clean place to come to. We've got classical music playing in the background. So it's not your typical automotive repair shop.
Yeah, I mean, I went in there wearing a suit and I was not scared to sit down and enjoy myself.
Well, that's important. So, especially, and I hope you're talking about a regular suit, not your Santa suit, because it is Christmas, and what a wonderful Christmas we're having, buddy.
Okay, it was a Christmas suit, Jerry. What's up with that? What's wrong with that?
That's all right. You know what? I had somebody call me yesterday and ask me, hey, do you know anybody with a Christmas suit? I'm going, it's a little late, isn't it? But what else can we ask? Your experience, you've got a lot of experience. You have a great staff. How big is the staff?
We've got 5 technicians.
Okay, so you got 5 technicians. And you can get us in and get us out. Loaner cars at all?
Yeah, typically about 90% of the work that we do is done same day.
Okay.
And oil changes and things like that, usually there's not much more than a half hour to an hour wait, if there's a wait at all.
All right.
We try to be pretty proficient. I know time is the major consideration for most people.
All right. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about that on the other side of the break. What we're going to do is get all of your information, how they can get a hold of you. We're going to get your website. We're going to talk a little bit of Facebook. We could never get out of this show without talking Facebook with Al, and we're going to get on. We're going to get on that on the other side of the break. Thank you very much. Networking Squared.